Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Adborn Team Monday Mental Fitness. I welcome you all back to a new week. And how are you doing? How was your weekend? And hope you have you saw our Monday morning movement. Hope you've decided to do something about that. So today we'll be discussing on focusing in a noisy world. Focusing in a noisy world. This topic is actually clear and direct because we are in an era where there is so much distraction everywhere. In fact, our attention is not even enough for the amount of distraction that is coming our way on a daily basis, especially with the use of the internet. It's quite huge. We have either Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or what have you, calling at our attention. Have you ever decided to just do something productive, but then you decide to, let me just quickly check what's happening on Instagram. And before you know it, 2 hours is gone, 3 hours is gone, and you are still counting. A lot of us have actually experienced that. So, focusing in a noisy world. I will be opening this training with a quote that says, "It is not busy, so are the ants. The question is, what are we busy with?" Yes, what are we busy with is actually a good question that we should ask ourselves as individuals. On a daily basis, we wake up, we grab our bag, we rush up to the office, we do the normal, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we take our bags and go home. Yes, we are busy, but then how productive is your business if there is a word like that? This quote is by Henry David Thoreau. So even the ants are so busy, just the way we are. The question is, what are you busy with? The person that sits down to read a book within 45 minutes and the person that sits on Instagram within 3 hours, they are both. The question is, one comes out with more productivity while the other one comes out with what is trending per time. So that takes us to simple definitions in this. The first one here is focus. This is the careful attention that is given, such as a task or the ability to give to something. This is your ability to put your full attention to something. I would like to ask a very sincere question. How often have you picked up probably your book or your routine for the day and say, okay, I want to give this thing 5 hours, and you were able to sit down for that 5 hours to give your attention to that thing? Even less than 5 hours is too much. How about 2-3 hours? Most times we end up picking up our phone in between to check what's happening, to check, what notification did I just get? We are often distracted. And do you know that distraction is not just on the internet. We have distractions around us. But on this training, I'll be focusing more on internet-based distractions. The next one is distraction, an object that directs one's attention away from something else. Okay, you decided to finish a report, you sit down, and the next minute, maybe a colleague or a friend sends you a text on WhatsApp. You pick up your phone. Before you start exchanging memes. I exchange memes a lot. So, and before you know, your time is fast spent while you've not even really done anything about the reports that you are supposed to take care of. That takes us to the next one, sources of distraction. I mentioned before, distraction is not just about Facebook, Instagram. They are the most distracting ones, but there are different forms of distraction. We have the external sources of distraction and the internal sources of distraction. Number one is the music, visual triggers. What are visual triggers? Things that we just see and we pick interest. We start pondering on it. We start thinking of how it can be better, or this one. Okay, there's a new series now on Netflix, I think Blood Sisters, or what's the name, and it's taking everyone's time. People are analyzing, both those that know about movies and those that do not. We are putting so much attention into this. The next one is social media interaction. That one does not even need an explanation. Both on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, some people are constantly tweeting, giving us entertainment on Twitter, leaving their own proper life behind. So I would like to say something clearly here. If your business is not on the internet, if your business is not on Twitter, on Instagram, or you're not even a blogger, why waste so much time there? Well, during the course of putting this training together, I decided to actually uninstall some app. I uninstalled it last year when Mr. Oluwagemiga was teaching about focus. I think early this year again I installed. and it has been time consuming. It does not consume only my time, but it consumes my data, my energy, and my money. Then the next one is phone calls and text messages. These are external sources. Then the next one is internal sources. Hunger, daydreaming, fatigue, and worrying. These are sources of distraction. What can be distracted? A vision can be distracted. A goal can be distracted. Whatever it is that you put your mind to that ought to be productive can be distracted if you're not careful. That takes me to the effects of constant distraction. If you practice distraction, or if you get distracted often, these are some of the things that it can result to. 1. Prompting forgetfulness. Prompting forgetfulness. When you are often distracted, it happens to me on location. You know, you are doing this right now, and before you know it, your attention is being called. You go for that and you come back. Most times you've forgotten the line that you ought to, the line that you've actually written out, or you've actually plotted out, that you want to follow. Especially when not written down. I think that's the best one. Especially when not written down. You've actually forgotten these things. It will take you at least, okay, researchers actually, they've come to realize that it takes one at least 25 minutes to be able to call back your mind, to be able to regain focus on whatever it is that you are doing. And an average person is distracted 60 to 70 times a day. 25 minutes at every point you are distracted, multiply it by the 60, and you know that the day is almost gone. The next one is it reduces mental capacity. When you are constantly distracted, you are constantly following the news, you are constantly following the trend on both Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and what have you. Before you know it, you're not be even able to think properly anymore. Your attention has been given to the social media trends and all of that. The next one here is could lead to fatigue. Have you ever been on social media so long that when you drop your phone, you feel exhausted? It has happened to me often and again. I pick up my phone and say, oh, let me just know what's happening, one or two. I stay there for hours, and when I drop my phone, I am tired. I did not do any work. I was only on social media. It drains your mental. It drains your mental strength. Number one, your ability to think drop when you are constantly practicing this distraction. Could lead to emotional breakdown. I would explain this. You know why we love social media so much? Is because it gives us instant gratification. Especially if you are the type that posts picture a lot. You are looking out for how many likes you get per picture, who is looking at what you are doing per time. The moment that click comes in, wow, you are happy. The same dopamine that is given to you when you are on this social media platform is the same you get as when you finish a huge project. So the human mind normally goes for something that will not take too much stress. That's why we turn often to social media and let's just get this whole joy and happiness before we go to the normal project that we ought to do. It also leads to you comparing yourself with what you are seeing online, especially if you're all these huge celebrity fans, influencers fans. You want to follow what they do part time. At some point, you just realize that, oh, my life is so backward. I am not doing well, forgetting that it is their happy moment that is posted on social media, not their downtime. So you are comparing your own behind the scene with somebody's reel, with somebody's highlights. So these are some of the things that social media can actually do to our mind. It low work productivity. It drops your work productivity. Because the time you are using to check one or two on the internet, your actual productivity is being dropped. This takes me to keys to regaining focus amidst distraction. Now we know that we cannot run away from this distraction. Some of us have business on all these social media platforms. What are the things that we can actually practice to at least reduce this distraction to the barest minimum? Number one, mind and mental detoxification. At times, you should just drop your phone, your smartphone, whatever it is, just leave it, go away from it. Stay in an environment that is calm, that is quiet. Be able to relate to yourself, be able to talk to yourself while you are being seated calmly. Resist the urge to pick and check notification. Be able to clear your mind. I mean, beyond what is happening on the social media space and even probably what is happening to your life. Detoxify your mind and your mental health. The next one is audit your social media diets. What are the things that you consume on social media? I am the type of person that consumes so much negative news. I am down totally. Are you the same kind of person? Why not take your time to audit, choose things that you want to see and things that you do not want to, even if it takes you unfollowing some people that post things that are detrimental to your mental health, because you actually need this mental health to be productive. You just either block them or do whatever or even unfollow them. The next one is the small things pass by and focus on what is important. We have a lot of things to do, but there's few key. When we do them, we actually see huge results. Why not leave the small thing like checking of WhatsApp messages, responding to some, checking mail and all of that, and do the proper mental work that needs to give you productivity towards where you are headed. So whether you are an entrepreneur, you're a student, you are a CEO, or whoever you are, why not leave the lower things that whether you do them or not, it doesn't matter in the long run. Then the next one is know your moment of highest concentration. When in the day are you usually more concentrated? Is it when you finish eating? Is it after sleeping? When is it? I am more concentrated between hours of 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't know about you. So you should take time to sit down to know when your mind works best. And when you're able to figure out when your mind works best, bring the greatest task at that time, because you are concentrated enough to actually take care of this task. The next one is keep distractions away. Don't casually scroll on Instagram. This is an instance. Instagram, we have WhatsApp. Some people now, their WhatsApp status is now entertainment zone. You just want to go there and check and know what's up. I have one like that and I have successfully blocked him. The next one is some obvious facts. I want to give us obvious facts. The next one is focus is the most valuable skill in the 21st century. People will want to pay for value more than somebody that is always on Instagram, just everyone else can do. The next is social media was designed to be addictive, just like drug and alcohol. Over the weekend, I was able to check some research on this social media thing, and I found that a lot of people attach it to highly addictive things like porn, alcohol, drug, and whatever. Why would they attach social media to things like that if it does not have a detrimental part it is playing in our lives? We all have equal 24 hours. What we do with ours determines the quality of our lives. Some people do not have 56 hours. We all have equal 24 hours. So when you come, that is meaning life presents us with equal time to do what is meaningful. So it is what we do with ours that determines the outcome and the quality of our lives. That takes us to the conclusion note. The truth is, in the 21st century, a lot of things are always competing for our attention, especially on the internet. Remember, this thing is actually focused on the distraction from the internet space. So we have to be able to have an economy of attention, able to apportion proper percentage of our time and energy to things that are most important to us. Yes, since everything is competing for our time, why not just have, a scale of preference? The most important first. Finish with them. When you know you are done, you're satisfied, then you can go to the less important. You can go online and laugh as much as you want to. This takes us to the closing quote that says, "The sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus." Alexander Graham Bell. It is until you focus the rays of the sun, that is when it can burn. Thank you for joining us today on Team Mental Fitness at Adbond Harvest and Homes. This code has actually brought us to the end of today's training. Feel free to drop your comments, your suggestions, and your contribution down below. Thank you very much.